comes to confronting sexual assault, rape myths, and a persistent culture of victim blaming, one of the most uncomfortable and disturbing truths that we have to acknowledge is that sometimes when it comes to rape, people lie. In November 2014, Rolling Stone magazine published a feature story centered around the alleged fraternity gang rape of a female freshman at the University of Virginia. It immediately garnered national attention as well as additional media scrutiny and fact-checking, which soon revealed that the source had fabricated that alleged sexual assault. On the one hand, this shined a light on some shoddy journalism on the part of Rolling Stone magazine, but on the other hand, even more disturbingly for survivors of sexual assault, this only supports a common stereotype that women are not to be trusted when it comes to allegations of rape and sexual assault. That assumption that most women are simply crying rape has been around for a long time. Corroborating quote from a 1952 article in the Yale Law Journal. Surely the simplest and perhaps the most important reason not to permit conviction for rape on the uncorroborated word of the prosecutrix is that the word is very often false. And that Mad Men era sentiment is still very much alive and well, as evidenced in pretty much any kind of internet conversation about sexual assault, wherein inevitably someone throws out a wildly inflated percentage of false allegations of rape made to law enforcement agencies. Because, as one 2006 study demonstrated, different sources will give you different numbers. 20 different sources yielded false allegations of rape statistics ranging from 1.5% at the very low end to 90% at the wildly inflated end. Here's the thing, we can't know exactly what that number is. As Megan McArdle explained over at the Washington Post, it's something that statisticians called a dark number. In the aftermath of that Rolling Stone article, the Columbia Graduate School of Journalism stepped in to analyze from start to finish what went wrong in the journalistic process. In its detailed report, the authors wrote, social scientists analyzing crime records report that the rate of false rape allegations is 2 to 8%. That 2 to 8% statistic is coming from a 2010 meta-analysis of past studies examining rates of false allegations of rape, as well as a fresh set of data of 10 years worth of sexual assault cases reported to the police at a Northeastern university. In analyzing those past studies, the researchers highlighted a major methodological problem because different law enforcement agencies classify these kinds of cases in different kinds of ways. They also found that the more scrutiny law enforcement applied to these kinds of classifications, the lower the rate of false rape allegations became. Looking at that 10 years worth of data that the researchers collected from that Northeastern university, they found that out of 136 sexual assault cases, 8 of them were determined to be unfounded. Of those 8 cases, 3 of the people who stepped forward later said, you know what? I made it up. And do those people who lie negatively impact and possibly endanger other people's lives? Yes! Take for instance in 2009 when a guy named William McCaffrey was released from prison after 4 years, when the woman who initially alleged sexual assault confessed that she had made the whole thing up to cover up a fight that she had previously been in. Statistically, the fact of the matter is that there is not an epidemic of false rape allegations going on. What is relevant in this conversation about false rape allegations is the incredible impact one person lying, as in the case of that Rolling Stone article, can have on everybody. It sets the tone for the entire conversation. It also discredits everyone who's ever stepped forward to tell the truth. As a woman, it honestly feels like a little bit of a betrayal in a way to acknowledge the statistical fact that yes, sometimes people lie and say that something happened when it didn't. And on behalf of the estimated 60% of victims of sexual assault who don't step forward, partially for fear that they won't be believed, we have to acknowledge this truth, I think, so that in understanding it, it can set us free.